Yo, what up? Welcome to episode 5 of Keeping It G. Y'all probably wondering why we in the open field right now with cars behind us. We got something special coming for y'all. This is why we're not at the normal location kicking it by the pool. But before we get into that, I need everybody to go tap into episode 4 right now. Episode 4 is up. This boy went crazy. He got him turned up and it really went up. So make sure y'all go check out episode 4. But what we're doing on episode 5 is a little different. Every year in Gum Springs, which is where we're at right now, every year we have a 2nd of August family reunion. If you don't know, the 2nd of August is when slaves in Arkansas was free. So we have our normal reunion around this time. So we just gonna bring to y'all some family members, introduce some people, and we getting ready to go up with the family. So I bring to you now episode 5, Meet the Tates, baby. Let's go. Whoa. All right, we back live again. Like I told y'all, we got a special episode of Keeping It a G. Instead of just our regular episode by the pool, we're doing our family reunion edition. As you can see sitting by me, he's my first cousin, but he's more so like a brother for me, or a brother to me, sorry. We pretty much grew up together. Either we was in Gum Springs together or when he lived in Little Rock. My cousin did eventually move to Texas, where he made a name for himself. If y'all looking at the face and it looks familiar, this is Vickiel Vaughn, 4-year letterman for the Arkansas.
Appreciate you for having me.
For sure. 4-year letterman for the Arkansas Razorbacks. We're going to get into some questions with fam, just what he's up to now, you know, what he feels about college football when he played versus college football now, the game, et cetera, et cetera. So, without further ado, Vickiel, how you doing, fam?
Good, man. I appreciate y'all having me. Thank y'all. Just want to support y'all any way I can. So, I'm here today just to, help where I can.
All right. So, first question. With you being an SEC athlete, we normally always, not that we want that for our kids, but if it happens, it happens. Your daughter, Gabby Anderson, she's been blessed with many talents. She's a creator. She's an artist. Her GPA is off the chart.
Amen.
And she is a Division I basketball player, but not just any kind of Division I basketball player. She's a Ivy League Division I basketball player.
Bless.
On top of her playing in the Ivy League, Gabby spent her final 2 years at IMG. So as you being her father, and we also are going to get into Bug and your middle daughter as well, but as Gabby being your oldest and seeing the accomplishments that she's made, how does that make you feel? What do you think about it, and what does the future look like for Gabby?
As a parent, you're happy. You're happy that, your child is able to put herself in position to where she can excel, and not only excel, but propel herself to be successful in life. That's all we want for any of our kids is, to be successful and to be able to set yourself up to where not only be successful just in whatever you choose to do, but just being successful as being a good person in life. So I'm a very proud father, to say the least, about, my oldest daughter, Gabrielle. My other 2 daughters, Nuniyad and Cadence, they have their strides and they're coming along and they're doing the things that they're excelling at. So, just blessed, and always just gracious, that I'm able to look and enjoy, the accomplishments of my daughter now.
Okay. So, Noonie is definitely on her books. Bug being young. We haven't seen what her trajectory is going to be. I know that she's involved in sports at this current time, and she's still young in her growth and development What do you see different between academics for Noonie and Gabby, and what do you see difference in Bug at this young age that you seen in Gabby at this young age?
Well, as far as the books are concerned, I never had to worry about books with Gabby. Gabby is very smart. For her, I have to give credit to her mother on the end of, the intellectual level of the education and striving to excel in that area. So for Gabrielle, I think she's my best child academically. Now my daughter Noonie, she does well in school. There's things that I feel like she can work on, but as always, she still does well. And then when it comes to Cadence, as we waiting on her trajectory. She's only 8, turning 9 as of this time, but she has a very high ceiling, and I think for her, she actually just enjoys the fact that she has 2 older sisters that she can kind of look up to and emulate, and kind of have a path already carved out as far as what she can do and what she could accomplish, just like her sisters are doing now.
So with you being kind of like Kobe, and what I mean, girl dad, Kobe had all girls, you have all girls. Did you ever wish to have a boy?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Having the boy, having the legacy, I think any man desires that in some essence, because they carry not only who you are, they carry your name. But at the same time, I'm thankful and blessed for all 3 of my girls. So I haven't been able to have a boy. I'm not worried about that. But to the guys who have boys, I'm a coach, so I deal with more boys than most men deal with in their lifetime. So I think God made up for it by allowing me to coach.
Okay. So the way things line up in the world, and as Uncle Zeke always taught us, your late father, that everything is God ordained. Mm-hmm. Uncle Zeke was an All-American at OBU. Mm-hmm. You became a really good football player at Fayetteville, had the opportunity to turn pro. As you said, Gabby's mother, what up, Celia? She was also a Division I player at the University of Arkansas, Division I basketball player, helped Arkansas go to their first and only Final Four. What genes were passed down between you and Celia into Gabby that, because sometimes it's in you, sometimes you can coach a kid up to become good, but some kids just have it in them. You already had an athletic gene in you. Celia already had an athletic gene in her. And so how do you think that helped Gabby's growth?
That's iffy. Because when we talk genetics, genetics are genetics. There are going to always be kids who are bigger, faster, stronger. So to be athletic enough to be able to sustain and maintain with certain kids, to be better than most other people athletically, is a blessing. Now, it's not the only thing, it's not the only requirement, it's not the only makeup that makes an athlete who they are. The mental capacity, the mental capabilities, those things, how you are raised, how you, deal with problems in your life, how you deal with success in your life. All those things are manipulated, by the mental capacity that you manage and that you grow with over a period of time. So, our daughter is blessed between both me and Celia. I'll say that. Our daughter is blessed athletically that she got some gifts. She's a lot taller than most women. She's faster, stronger than a lot of women. And then on top of that, her intellectual level is through the roof. So you combine all of that and, it makes it pretty good. But we've all been in a time and place. If you any kind of sports person or you played any kind of sports, you always got people who have the athletic ability but don't have the mental. Or you have people who don't have the athletic ability but have the mental, and then you have them where they don't have the mental ability but have all the athleticism in the world and can't figure out they left from they right, left shoe from right shoe. So it's a accomplishment of a culture of things. And I look at athletes nowadays, especially the ones I coach and the ones I mentor and talk to, and you got to look at a culture of things that take place in order to kind of create and define an athlete to give them the kind of propulsion to have success as far as long term in their career.
So speaking of coaching and mentoring, let's segue. At a very young age, the two kids sitting to the left of you, Justin and Josh, you was one of the first people who I entrusted every time we was in Dallas to train them. So if you've seen their trajectory, you've seen where they started from, where they came from, even though Justin no longer plays football, it was something that you said to him that was very important. I want you to express this to all of the other kids as, you know, coming up playing sports, and even one, and not just the ones in high school, but even the ones in college. I sent you a video one time with Justin, and you was like, hey, he's half-assed in this training rep. He's not going hard enough. Why is he not going 100% in every rep? What is the mindset, and why is it important for kids to go not only 100% in the game, but 100% in training and 100% in practice?
I mean, I think this kind of is more simple than complex. I think we look at it as something complex because of the difficulty of it, but the simplicity of it is, simply put, doing something repeatedly over and over until it becomes repetitive. The hard part about that is most of us mentally cannot handle doing something over and over. It gets boring, it gets mundane, it gets us off topic, we lose focus. There's other things, the distraction of the world takes effect and takes a hold of us. But if you can do the same thing consistently over and over, those are the people who you are actually looking at that become champions, and they don't become champions just once. It's over and over and over because they realize all you got to do is the simple thing over and over, and it's just like compound interest. If you know about money, compound interest, the more your money compound, the more money you make. The more you want to become successful, the more work you have to put in. Prime example that we're looking at in today, in 2024, we're watching the Summer Olympics, and you're talking about LeBron James, and he's 39 years old, and you're talking about he's finna be 40, and you're talking about how, and everybody that ever been around LeBron or been through him, the only thing and everything that they always say is what? He's a machine. Right. To be a machine means it ain't about doing anything extraordinary. It's about doing everything the same way over and over, and then stretching out the career to where it don't fall off, and you wonder when it's gonna fall off. Well, he set himself up to where I can go not only 20 but 30. Why? Tom Brady showed you I can go 20 plus.
Playing football at
Playing
that.
Football. We use the narrative talking about LeBron James, talking about he want to play with his son. LeBron can play with both of his sons, quiet as he's kept.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
So then what you gonna say? Now what kind of legacy? Can he be the GOAT? Is he not the GOAT? We can say, that's what I'm saying. The great ones understand early the consistency part. And so it was my job and my opportunity, anytime I train, I'm going to give you the real very early, very honest. And if you can accept it, now we can build and work for something, because now we have a goal in mind that we're trying to work to. Now we have something, a marker that we can set that we must meet every single time. It's just like when you go to school, you have a marker to get A, B, C, or D. That's all you're doing. That's why I said it's simple. There's nothing complex about it. But it's, can you do it when you don't feel like it? Can you do it when you got 1 and 2 over here, want to go to the club, want to go to the party, want to go hang out, want to go do this? Can you sacrifice? Can you sacrifice what you eat? I can't have pizza today. Matter of fact, I can't have cheeseburgers at all. Can you sacrifice so that you can maintain and be at a specimen to where you can maintain and then take off? That's the trajectory. That's how you set up your trajectory. In anything you do in life, I don't care if it's sports, I don't care if it's business, whatever you decide to do, the simplicity of the contagiousness of consistency. Once you learn that, there is nothing, and literally I mean there's nothing that can stop you, because you are now creating the method in which is going to propel you to where it's like a train. What's going to stop a moving train? Nothing until it tells itself to stop.
True. So when you say that as a coach to you, and also as a former player, somebody that played at the highest level, what's more important for athletes? physical discipline or mental discipline?
You need both. You need both. You can't have one without the other, because mental discipline is allowing for you to prepare yourself to do the task at hand, meaning you understand what is about to take place. You understand where you have to be. You understand how you have to do it. You understand what maneuvers or what placements are going to be. That's only the mental part. The physical part is physically carrying out the task at hand. If I got to dig a ditch, the physical part is me taking that shovel, sticking it in the ground, pushing through the dirt, lifting, and picking up. I have to do the physical part. You can't separate them.
Justin?
I got one question. So you played 4 years in college, right? And you see how it's a lot different than when you played. So right now in college, we got NIL, we got transfer portal. I want to ask you about the NIL.
They had NIL too. It was just under the radar. Trust me, I seen some things. Look, I seen some things where.
Hey, if you weren't there, you don't know.
Right.
I'm just saying. I mean,
you weren't there, you don't know. You don't know about it. If you wasn't there, you just don't know, and that's all that is. But those who were there, hey, they was the one who supposed to know. If you wasn't there, you can speculate all you want.
so my question is, like, how do you feel about the NIL, and that do you feel that college players should get paid like a pro athlete, like in the NFL or in the NBA? You feel like they should make like millions of dollars off of endorsements, or like as a college student?
Well, their NIL is not. See, we have to separate some things. You have to understand what NIL really is. When we talk about name, image, likeness, we're talking about who I am as a person, what I represent. And then basically saying, if you take my image and use it, then I should be able to get it. In every other aspect of life, of business, you have the right to represent yourself. You are the entity of one. So when it came to the sports world and when it came to you looking at NIL, well, the problem was the trade-off was unbalanced. The trade-off was originally athletes, we giving you an education.
Come here, Danny.
Right? Education, we always say, was 30, 40K. Depending on what school you go to, that's the education. If you go to a bigger school, the education seems to be bigger. So with that, that was the trade-off. You can come play sports for us and we'll give you an education. Well, what happened was, in looking at that, it was fine to an extent, but the monster, which is the NCAA, and I'm not talking about NCAA itself, I'm talking about as far as the sports world of NCAA, became to where it became marketable. It became a business. And from that aspect, the amateur aspect thing that we were trading off for didn't seem to be balanced out. You had millions upon millions of dollars on one end, while you were giving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the other end for education. It didn't balance. The scale was totally off. So to level the playing field, you turn back to the original. You represent yourself. So NIL, my name, what God and my parents gave me, or whoever gave me my name, the image, what that God blessed me with, and my likeness. If you try to make something that's like me, I should be able to reciprocate off that. So with that, that kind of opened up the world of business to athletes. So now, for me, it would have been nice to have NIL then. I mean, I'm just being honest. It would have been nice to be able to have the ability to get paid for my who I am.
Legally, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially when, at times you become as big as, you're a rock star. I think about it. I went to the University of Arkansas, Fayetteville. Whoopee. So at a point, there is no other professional team in the state that we're competing against.
That's true.
So we become as big as rock stars. You can go to Little Rock. When I can go to Little Rock, and you can walk through, and you can really start a frenzy because who you are, because you play football for the Arkansas Razorbacks. So it's a double-edged sword in the sense that now they open up the floodgates. They don't have any control. When you look at professional, the difference is you have control. There are different contracts for different things. Your name, image, likeness for the NFL, you get that from jump. Playing cards, endorsement deals,
jerseys.
All of that is set up from the jump to that's your own. That's a separate bag. when you talk about the bag of a professional athlete, the only bag you can talk about when it comes to that is what the team contract is giving you to come perform for us. So now I'm getting both. The NFL don't have to deal with the rigmarole of the colleges don't have to give you a contract to come show your sports. They just said you now have the freedom to go use your name, image, likeness how you see fit. We no longer have the tie to control you. Now, if we decide to use you, then we have to work on a contract, blah, blah, blah. That's the difference. But there is no contract that I got to pay you to play. So when we say millions of dollars, not really. Because we have to look at, in the college realm, go look, matter of fact, we can look at NCAA college football. How many players on the cover of college?
Only 3.
No. It's not.
So, all right, Justin, the thing that he's asking you is 2 different things.
I thought you talking about the
so
game.
it's 2 different covers.
Yeah, no,
On one cover, you do have 3 athletes. On the other cover, you do have other athletes that represent other schools as well.
Yeah,
I thought like the 3. I thought you talking about the 3 main
those they did the promo. Mm-hmm. It's not the cover.
No, they do have a cover though.
That's the promo.
No, it's 2 separate versions of the game. Is what I'm saying.
I have the deluxe version. I know what y'all talking about. I'm telling you, this is how they got paid. They got yours,
Hunter
and
Edwards
from Michigan.
They
got paid an additional fee.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a promo. So when y'all see that and say it's the cover, what it shows you, that's what pops up when you order early and all of that. When the actual game logo, what prints, there's a difference because you get paid for it.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Think about that. Did you see Shador on there?
No.
Who the number 1 player on Colorado?
Travis Hunter.
That's what y'all say.
I mean,
Travis Hunter.
Hold on.
Y'all may say Shador. I say Travis Hunter is the best player on that team.
I didn't say who the best. Did I say who the best?
No, you said who number 1.
Number 1 would mean the best, right?
No.
How come?
Because it's different.
Okay, hold on, wait. So
Shador is not playing 2 ways. Shador is playing the number 1 position in the sport.
That's true. I agree with you.
So therefore, what he's allowed to do is capped. No matter what Travis does, no matter what Dion has done, is he the number 1 player ever in football?
Travis Hunter?
No, Dion.
Oh, no.
What? He played both ways. He dominated both ways because it doesn't matter. The number 1 spot is the number 1 spot for a reason. The quarterback is the number 1 spot in football. No matter how you want to do it.
Hold on, wait. It hasn't always been like that though, Vickiel. You know that's the truth.
Okay, when has it not been like that?
Who was the number 1 player on Arkansas when you played? It was not the quarterback. It was not Casey Dick. It was Darren McFadden.
It was Matt Jones. You forgot I played with Matt Jones.
Oh, okay, all right.
Take it back.
But he was literally the best player on the team, though. But when you play with, yes, who?
So you said Matt Jones was the best player?
He sold the most. He put the most asses in seats.
That don't mean he was the best. Because you forgot. I thought you went to high school with somebody named Cedric Kyle. Was he better than Cedric Kyle?
Him and Sam played together that year? Oh, they sure did. The year y'all beat Texas. My bad. My bad. Okay.
You gonna argue semantics when nothing. I love Casey Dick. Casey Dixon is great at Fayetteville. Great for Fayetteville High. The truth is, you got a dynamic player when you had a Darren McFadden.
And Felix Jones and Hillis.
Hold on. So it started with Darren.
Facts.
Felix was like, oh hell, we got 2 of them. What we gonna do?
But you know what?
Peyton was already there.
He sure was.
Peyton was like, bro, you can't leave me out. So now you say, listen, how do I use the field to my advantage? Oh, wait a minute. A team ran Wildcat a couple years ago against us. Auburn ran Wildcat against us with Cadillac Williams.
Ronnie Brown.
Why don't we run Wildcat?
You know what? I remember when
Why not? Now, make your decision. I got 3 folks in the backfield that can take us to the house at any point. Make your decision.
2 of them run a 4-3.
Make your decision. Imagine if we had that in college football.
The other one ran a what? Fast 4-6.
Imagine we had that in college football right now.
The game is different now, though, because it's more so of a passing game. That's why people would consider Shador to be the number one option on Colorado.
Let's go back to college football when they was in. You didn't play with Arkansas and play the.
Yeah, I mean, we did the Wildcat.
Thank you.
But what I'm saying, though, times is different now because it's more of a passing game. That's why the quarterback can be considered the number one option, the most important option. You got a chance to play against 2 all-time great teams. Mm-hmm. You got a chance to play against Vince Young and Cedric Benson. Mm-hmm. And you also got a chance to play against Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart.
Yeah.
Was y'all really going into the game to stop Matt Leinart, or was your game plan, we need to find a way to contain Reggie Bush because that's the number one option? We can't let him do what he wants to do.
Reggie Bush was never the factor.
Wow.
No, this is for understanding.
Bullshit.
No. This is for understanding football, and this is understanding the level of intellect you have to have in college football.
Okay, talk to me.
How wide are the hashes?
What are y'all?
No.
Oh, the sidelines?
Yeah.
45.
No, sideline to sideline.
It's 45 yards, ain't it?
The hash to hash.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, what offense did they run?
They ran more so pro style, but then they did run a lot of single back as well.
They ran a lot of pro style spread.
Yeah.
2x2. When we lost it, we got our head beat in by USC.
Yeah.
Straight up. But we got our head beat in because we were used to a more dominant power style football. We're going to have to power it, run it down. And they just spread us out, and we were playing man. Should have played more zone. You look at the Pac-12 back then, you played zone against them. You don't play man. We lived off playing man because we were more, SEC at that time is more pound style. The best teams were running teams. They wasn't throwing teams.
Yeah, your Auburns, your LSUs.
They were running the ball. So the way we were set up and the way we were designed at the time to where they took advantage and exploited us as far as man-to-man. They just ran crosses. They just ran inside seam crosses and stuff like that. So you run away from the man. Okay, man, I'm just dipping dump. Matt Leinart had a day on us.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
So the deal was, and no, it's not a disrespect. You didn't look at the running back and say he was the one you got to stop because the way that they came at it. You looked at it as, okay, as long as we do what we are and we in position, we can make the play. The problem was, a couple of times, it was 1 or 2 people out of position.
So in other words, you're saying that everybody needs to be able to do their individual job.
Correct.
Instead of trying to do somebody else's job.
Correct.
Because when you're out of position, and whether you're playing against a Reggie Bush or whether you're playing against a Peyton Hillis,
correct,
at some point in time, you're going to get exploited.
The best defenses are the ones who are most disciplined. Nick Saban, when he was at LSU, when he was at Michigan State, when you look at him as a defensive coach and a defensive-minded person, they understood about playing it down and distance. They understood about not bending. That's where the whole bend but don't break in defense comes from. Because technically, the game is designed for offenses to excel and actually succeed.
Especially now.
But defensive, when you look at the defensive side of the ball, we are always tend to react and recover. So from that standpoint, when you look at defenses are always trying to catch up to offense. Always. Nick Saban was successful for so long because he started to understand how defenses and how offenses were trajectory going, because that's all he does is study what is the trend of the offense.
Spread no huddle at this point.
But what was a couple years ago? Remember when RPO first became into play? Remember when?
Yep.
You see how the game is cyclical. It's going to always come back to some form of the same version. Whether you spread it out, whether you condense it, it's still the same about just lining up, matching up where you have to be, and then saying, okay, we're going to play, that we're going to match up and stop. That's why when you look at offense job is count numbers. Where's our advantage? Defense. We might show you one advantage, take it away, whatever. That's all it is. Cat and mouse.
So with you breaking that down, what's the difference from when you were a player versus now you as a coach? How is the mindset differently from getting ready to play a game? And one thing I can say about you, I remember one time Uncle Zeke and I was at the Georgia game, and he said, "Man, Vickiel is like me during the entrance. I know exactly when Vickiel is going to come out. He does the same thing I did. He's going to be one of the last ones to come out. He's not going to be running out, jumping up and down, screaming and hollering. He's going to jog out to the field. He's going to go and do his job." And so what is the difference from the mindset of getting ready to go on the road and play number one like LSU? When you had a game, to me, that definitely elevated your stock as a player because you picked off the number one draft pick twice. Versus when I came to watch you coach, in the second half, y'all was having to shut down that wide receiver that was killing y'all in the first half. So what was the adjustments and the mindset from a player to the adjustments and the mindset of becoming not only a defensive back coach, but becoming a defensive coordinator?
The difference is, one I teach, the other I do. As a player, I had the ability to where I make the difference in going to make the play. It's not just me knowing what to do, it's me having the wherewithal to actually go put forth in action what to do. As a coach, we no longer have that ability. So you have to find other ways to instill that in the guys and in the ones that you're teaching. So as a coach, I'm a different mindset. I'm a teacher. As long as I know that you understand what to do and how to do it, the only thing my expectation then leads for me to do is say, go do it. And if you can't do it, I'm going to ask why. And if you can't figure out, I'll find somebody who can. As a coach, that's my job, is to teach you how to do it, give you the expectation, and then allow for you to do whatever needs to be done.
So, question, and I just thought about this, and the reason why, and even though he never officially went to coach, this was always the running joke between Uncle Zeke and myself. When we were sitting at the Georgia game, and he was like, "Man, I can tell you everything Houston Nutt's about to do. I can tell you everything." Like, he would literally just sit there and call the plays. I was like, "Uncle Zeke, why are you not a coach?" And he would tell me, "Man, had I knew what coaches would be making now, I would have became a coach." And I'm pretty sure he told you the same thing.
Yeah.
Who was the better coaching mind between you and Uncle Zeke?
I can't compare. It's like saying, how do you compare a mentor to his master? I can't sit there and say that I can ever be better. I can only say that I can learn to achieve to get to the level that he got to. Once I have that understanding, now he gave me the power and the ability to take what I have, and now that I'm a master, I need to go mentor.
So, and we're going to ask 2 or 3 more questions and let you go, fam. What are some lessons that Uncle Glenn. Hey, look, I told y'all last week, we do everything live. We don't do a bunch of editing, especially things that just naturally happen. That was natural. Like I told y'all, we're at the family reunion. What are some of the lessons that your late great father, my late great uncle, taught you that you still carry as being a father yourself?
Well, as being a father, it's to, teach my kids, to always do the best that they can do, to love them, to know that they're always loved, and to just cherish the time and just to be there for them and to basically help them grow and nurture. That's the lesson that my father taught me, is just as long as you are available to be there to help them, to nurture them, to grow, you're doing your job as a father. You're able to impact and actually give insight into them, into their growth, into their maturation. As long as I can do that and be a part of my kids' life in that manner, in that way, I feel like I'm living out the legacy that my father has taught and actually lived out as well.
Last question. how do you, Brittany, and Rochelle feed off each other? And the reason why I asked that question, y'all probably did something that's not duplicated a lot, to where 3 siblings all had Division I college scholarships at the same university around the same exact time. Now, with you coaching, Rochelle being an esteemed coach, with Rochelle being an esteemed coach as well, taking a new program, Frisco Memorial, all the way to the state finals and lost to a powerhouse school. What are some of the lessons, and even in the profession that Brittany's in, like it's an airline profession, what are some of the ideals that y'all 3 bounce off of each other, and how do y'all help each other grow and be the best version of yourselves?
Well, I'm blessed. I think first and foremost, we're blessed to have a family dynamic to where we were kind of nurtured in family and being the closeness of family and of each other. So I think it was more than just even me and my sisters. Our entire family, like you said, I got my cousins right here. I got my uncles, my aunts, my grandmother. When I say our family was all about, being involved in everything that we did and celebrating us and supporting us, that it's natural for all of us to support and be dedicated to each other, especially in our success. I think for the most part, we're just kind of twofold. We're a helping hand whenever we need to be, whenever somebody needs to be encouraged or needs to be motivated in a direction, especially like my twin when it comes to us and our coaching. We always looking for feedback from one another as far as are we doing the things that are necessary and correct to be successful. And we always have a checks and balance in that area. And then with Brittany, she's in banking. I know it says Southwest, but she's still in banking.
Okay. I knew it was on the airline.
But even with that, she's able to be successful as well in the path and in fortitude, and she has our support as well. I just think for us, the thing that we've all done is just understood family enough to be supportive, because good times, bad times, or whatever, if you have family, we feel like you can survive through pretty much anything as long as you have the people who truly love you and truly care for you and truly want the best for you to be there. You can get through a lot of things in life. So I think that's where we are with that.
And when Vickiel say we family, it's not just the normal aspect of family. It used to be times to where I would pay for my own ticket to the Razorback games just to go and hey man,
his fault.
Hey bro, don't care.
His fault.
I would pay for my own tickets at times just to go support him.
Nah, don't. I can't let you get away with that.
I was supporting you regardless. You only got so many free tickets, Vic.
I cannot let you get away with that. If the Reverend, my father, was still here, he would come to you and say, Mom.
I did get 90% of my tickets free. I'm not saying I didn't get any free.
He would say,
I said I bought some.
If you had to buy them, it was clearly your fault. This is what I'm telling y'all. If you had to buy a ticket, mind you, he said he came to 90%.
Here comes Rochelle. We just talked about Rochelle. Come on, baby.
We just sitting here talking. Sit down.
It's our podcast.
Yeah.
I got some questions for Rochelle.
And he talking about 90%. Bruh,
Rochelle gave me all my tickets for free. I had to pay for these. I got all my tickets from Rochelle and Brittany for free. This nigga's a hater right there.
Plenty poo.
We are enjoying it.
It's hot.
But yeah, so he can't. That's BS. He should have came to every game free.
Who?
This one. If he didn't come to the game free, it was totally his fault.
Every time he came, though, he was loud.
I mean, what was I supposed to do? Sit there and not cheer for y'all?
Nah, he used to talk mess.
Mad noise to people.
No,
what was I supposed to do?
Hold up. But he used to talk mess about me. This is what y'all understand. Your own family talking mess. If I mess up or something, this is who talk bad about me.
I mean, somebody got to keep you humble.
Nah.
He used to do the same thing. He used to do the same thing to me.
Listen.
Why you not up here with me then?
Hey, he did that. My dad got mad one time and said, "Hey, Mom, you ain't coming back to no more games if you gonna keep doing that."
It's not my fault, Reggie Bush.
Mom was mad.
Hey, Ro, come here right quick, though. Come here, Ro.
This is my twin.
I know.
Man.
So this is his twin, Rochelle. Rochelle's the one that we was just talking about that took over a new school and led them to the state finals. And each year, even before that, she was building up and building up and building up. What did you learn from going to the state championship game that year that's propelling you? And I know it didn't go the way you wanted it to go, but what lessons did you learn being there that's pushing you this year? Because I know that you got the majority of the team coming back.
I would just say everything matters. Like, things people don't think about matters. How you look, how you perform, how you prepare from top down matters. So then every possession then matters, right? So that's the biggest thing. And then getting your players and your coaches to understand what that looks like, what it feels like. That's the biggest thing.
So what are some of the strides that y'all have taken this year from last year? Because I know last year was an early exit, and I know that you hated that because I was at that game, and like you hated that. So what have you learned from last year versus the team that you have now?
I would say chemistry matters. Like the year we went to state, we had really good chemistry. All the kids believed in each other and they wanted to play for each other. Last year, we had talent, but we didn't necessarily have the chemistry that I wanted us to have on and off the court. Like you look at Team USA, they talk about that. Like everybody knows they're the most talented team, but you see mess ups when they're playing turnovers because the chemistry is not there. Not understanding personnel and what each person likes. This summer, we're seeing better chemistry. We went 3-0 in our showcase.
Okay.
Kids liked it. It felt better. Just the vibe, what you look for as a coach. From top down, the coaching staff, the energy with the parents, energy with the kids on the floor, they felt more connected. And so hopefully that translates to a successful season. And a successful season isn't about winning or losing. It's about the product you put on the floor and the kids getting better. So when they leave, they're better human beings.
That was powerful. That sounds like something your dad would say, by the way, too. That sounds like something Uncle Zeke would say.
People think success is like, oh, you win. But like, winning is not how you determine success. It's did you give your best effort? Can you walk away saying, I have no regrets? And that's every single day. Can you be consistently good every single day in what you're doing? That's how you become great.
That's crazy. Y'all gonna say consistent?
Now, question that I asked Vickiel. As a coach,
I'm done now.
do you prefer? No, hold on. Last one. I'll let you go. As a coach, you prefer mental discipline or physical discipline, or both?
Both, but mental first, because you have to win here before you can win physical. So we have some kids that we're trying to get them to win their mind, because your mind controls everything else. And that's just in life. Your mind's going to control anything you do after the ball starts bouncing, you stop throwing. Your mind dictates everything you're going to do in life. How you think, how you feel, how you move, what type of wife you are, husband you are, friend you are. It starts how you think and what you think.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I like to read. Good luck with this.
Appreciate it, baby.
Appreciate it.
Vic, I thank you. Like I said at the beginning, we was more so raised like brothers. I only got one brother. Quentin came along later. So with you, we was always, other than, we was always more brothers than cousins. And even with me and Glenn was always more brothers than cousins as well. But I appreciate you for doing this. The reason why we're doing it here, Justin had this idea first. I don't know if maybe him and Vickiel hit each other up separately. I come down here Thursday, and Vickiel said, hey, so we doing the podcast down here this weekend? I'm like, no.
I I'm just trying to support.
And you were like, why not?
Y'all talk sports, y'all talk football. I love talking football. I just wanted to support. Be on. Give my insight on a couple things.
And I appreciate it. A matter of fact, we're gonna get the last question to Josh. Vickiel, Josh has been where you've been. Right now, he's co-starter for the second cornerback spot behind our other All-State cornerback, Michael Hayes.
All-State.
And so Josh is fighting for that second spot.
There's 2 corners though.
Yeah. And so he's fighting for the second spot.
So
we go 2 sometimes. Yeah.
And y'all need a 2 and a 3.
Yeah.
So he 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so.
Okay.
And so, what is some advice you would give him from when I used to send you clips last year, and you was like, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, he's not ready right now. I'm like, his coaches say different. You were like, he's not ready. And so, Josh, I'm gonna let me and Justin go and walk off. We're gonna let you and Vickiel have this segment, and you can ask Vickiel questions, and Vickiel, tell him why you felt he wasn't ready last year and what can help prepare him to be ready for PA in 3 Fridays. And yes, I'm taking the over on PA and I'm taking PA to win. Until Robinson beats PA, I'm taking PA to win. So I'm finna step off. Hey, Scholar, you know you my brother. I love you. Matter of fact, I'm not copying no please. I said what I said. All right. Vickiel, here you go, bro.
That's kind of disrespectful. But
it may be, but it's the truth.
Disrespectful.
I don't know.
He was disrespectful with that, my boy.
We'll see when we play him. Gotta prove him wrong.
Okay. Didn't we put Robinson ass in the championship one year? Hey, Vickiel, they wouldn't have changed uniforms at halftime.
Oh, and it didn't help. It didn't help.
Y'all ain't did nothing after that.
Oh.
Y'all ain't did nothing after that.
Hey, y'all was so cold, they made y'all change uniform and it still didn't help. It's all right. Hey, it's all right. We had them time. Trust me. I done had them days. We all go through them. Nah, but I'm here. Let's talk a little football. Let's talk about what's going on. What you got for me?
So like my dad said, I am fighting for that second spot.
Okay.
Practice is a little rough. I got to work on a few things. I think the thing I need to work on most is probably like man coverage.
Why man? Do y'all play a lot of man or do y'all play a lot of zone? Remember, I asked you before, do you know your defense?
We play a lot of man.
Okay, so if y'all play a lot of man and you need help in man, then where do you need help? How do you need help? Understanding your defense. Meaning, if you're the number 2 corner, i.e., whether you play left or right, you're the outside corner. Or are you the number 2 corner where your number 2 corner plays the slot? Right?
Yes, sir.
You got different leverage, different help. So you have to decide, how do you need help? If you don't know how you need help, you got a lot more work to do. That's why when your dad said, tell you how you, because like my twin just said, mentally, you're not preparing yourself to go where you need to go. It's the physical part, it will come. Mentally has to come on its own. Mentally is separate. You need both. Mentally, you have to understand what to do, how to do it, and then physically, you go out and do it. But if you don't understand what to do and how to do it, it doesn't matter how physical gifted you are. Right?
Yeah, right.
So that's the leverage. So the question I ask, I'm a D coordinator. I ask you, what defense y'all play?
4-2-5.
What defense do y'all play?
4-2-5.
Okay. What coverage? What's your main coverage?
Our main coverage.
Main coverage.
Cover
What
one.
do y'all call more than anything else in practice?
Well, it's called blue.
So what is blue?
Basically, like cover 4.
Blue, match coverage.
Yeah.
See how I can tell you what blue is? It ain't my schematics, it ain't my scheme. Blue, match coverage. You said cover 4. They say it's cover 2 read. Right? The shell, meaning how you align, is cover 4. Why? Because everybody looks the same. Quarterback can't determine what y'all are actually in. Y'all have a quarter or cover 4 shell, but how do y'all play blue? What do y'all reads? 2 to 1.
Yeah.
Why am I explaining? This is how you have to explain it to me. If I ask you what defense y'all play, you say, well, we play a match defense. You need to understand, because when you say I read a 2 read, the read word behind it is telling me I have to read something to determine what I do next. So 2 read, we use colors. A lot of people use colors when you run a 4-2-5. This defense has been ran by, the schematics has been ran by multiple teams, especially in the last 8 to 10 years with the spread offense. So if it's match coverage, that means I'm going to match up at a certain point. They're going to match up at a certain point. When are y'all playing man?
When the defender hits 7 yards.
No, when the person that you're reading determines their route. I don't care about 7 yards. 2 read is this. If 2 goes vertical, I lock to 1. Correct?
Yeah.
If 2 goes outside, my eyes leave 1 and go to 2. If 2 goes inside, my eyes leave 2 and go back to 1. I lock to 1. 1 becomes mine. Those are all 3 reads that you have. Inside, outside, vertical. That's the 2 read. That's the breakdown of the defense. It's not man, it's match. It's actually a match zone. Because if 2 comes to you, guess what? Do you care what 1 does?
No.
Yes, you do.
Depending on what.
If 2 is coming to you, what does that mean for the person who was holding 2? What that mean for them?
They gotta read what 2 does.
And guess where do they have to go? It all works together. Understanding your defense. When you say you want to get better at man, you have to understand the mental part of what man is. Whether it's inside or outside, everything is predicated by what they're going to do. If I am the number 2 cornerback and I got to play a receiver who's at the top of the numbers and I want him to release outside, where else can he go but vertical and outside? The route tree dictates I can't do 7 other routes. I can only do 3. And the more vertical I go, the routes start eliminating themselves. But the mental part, if you know that, physically, you just run it. I'm waiting for him to shut down. He ain't shutting down. Gotta stay on my horse. Oh, I see he start to shut down. His shoulders drop. He's shutting down. Where did he shut down out? 10 yards, 15 yards? What can he do now? That's man. You are on defense. You can never say what you're going to do before you do it. The only thing you can say is, okay, make your first move. Okay, now I'll make mine. You playing the hardest position on the field, boy. The hardest. Yes, my boy, come on. That's where you improve. You can come to me, we can train. I can go through footwork. I can go through the drills that you need to do to start getting the repetitiveness and the consistency. We can do that. But it ain't going to matter if you don't have the mental fortitude to understand what you're doing. That is how you get better. That is how you, it ain't a fight between me and whoever. I know my job inside and out. God blessed me and my sisters to have athleticism. Don't get me wrong, because I was faster than most. I could jump all that more than most. But what people discounted and didn't give credit, my father let me know the mental part of the game is what separates you. The fact that you know what is going to happen or what they can do and you respond is how you have separated yourself. Me coming up in high school, the only reason why they said I was one of the best safeties ever is because in the first 3 games, every single year from sophomore year, I had 3 teams try to throw the ball. And every game, I picked them twice. Every game, that was the consistent part. So when they looked up and said, you know what? If we look at tape, after these 3 games, teams stopped throwing the ball. Why is that?
So they couldn't get a pass on you?
And I wasn't doing anything special. I just understood my leverage, where I was, and I said, if you do it, it's like backyard football. Once you throw up, it's anybody's ball. At cornerback, if you understood your two read to the T, to the letter, you should get picks. When a team runs a smash concept, where the number one runs a sit down, and he runs a sail, you should bait him every time and say, I want you to throw it, because you don't see me. I want you to throw that, and then go pick it off every time. Do that enough times, they won't even throw to your side, regardless of what coverage y'all run. But if you're not disciplined enough to take that on and have the mental fortitude to work at understanding what you're doing, you're gonna be stuck where you are, fighting for something that you shouldn't have to fight for. Because I guarantee you, I can come to your school right now and ask the number one, what y'all play? What kind of defense y'all play? He couldn't tell me. But you want to know what he could tell me? You know what the coach can tell me? He's probably more athletic than the rest of y'all. Am I lying?
No.
That's all it is. Some people are going to always be blessed. I was blessed enough that I played with so many people who were faster, stronger, bigger than me, that I never doubted myself, because I was like, God didn't create me this way. God created me to be who I am and how I am. I can encourage you. I told your uncle this when I was training him in Fayetteville for basketball. I say, hey, I'm going to put you through a week's workout. You're going to wake up at 5. We're going to go work out. You're going to eat. Then we got to work out at 2. We did all of this. And I said, hey, do you want to do this for the next however many years? He said, oh, no, I don't want to do this. I said, well, you then, why are you trying to go pro? This is what it requires. This is the minimum that it takes to go pro. We ain't even going hard. This is what it takes to go pro. So what are you doing it for? Oh, fam, I ain't even think about it like that. So where do you want to go with this?
I want to go pro.
But what's the school we trying to get to right now?
USC.
USC. Hey, Lincoln, holla at your boy. We want him to see this. Because we want Lincoln to come back and ask, oh, so when you was this old, somebody gave you some wisdom. Did you take it? This is a recording so when we look in the future, we're gonna look back on this and say, did he take the advice? Did he really want to go to USC? Or did he just talk about it? That's all you're doing. We ain't even got to talk about it no more. He said on camera, USC, baby. Trojans. I don't really like y'all because y'all did me wrong when I played y'all. But anyway, USC, you know what I'm saying? I want to come out to Cali. I got family out in Cali. You know what I'm saying? We trying to come out there and kick it a couple games. I ain't going to wear y'all jerseys, but I'll come support my nephew if he make it with y'all. USC is that trajectory, the consistency to get to that. You ready for it? Should have started yesterday. NCAA. Anybody want to see me? Vickiel 3114, baby. PlayStation. Holla at your boy. I'm on that NCAA.